In the Spanish Civil War of 1936 to 39, thousands of men and women from around the world joined the International Brigades to defend Spain's elected government against a fascist-backed military revolt. General Franco eventually triumphed, but the International Brigade set an example of anti-fascism and solidarity that continues to inspire people to this day. 2,500 men and women from Britain and Ireland served in the brigades. More than 500 gave their lives. At home, a mass Aid Spain movement helped Spanish refugees and sent food and medicine to Spain. This incredible story can be found in the archives of the Marx Memorial Library in London. The men and women of the International Brigades were in the vanguard of a generation that stood up to fascism and fought for social justice. Many had taken part in the hunger marches and the unemployed workers' movement following the economic crash of 1929. "At last a star for desperate men," wrote David Marshall, describing his feelings of being able to defend the elected left-wing government of the Spanish Republic. Having worked as a clerk in the dole office in Middlesbrough, he had witnessed the misery and economic hardship of the 1930s. After enlisting with the International Brigades, David joined the Communist Party, which was calling for a popular front of all progressive parties to fight fascism. Scarred by the horrors of the First World War, many in the Labour Party were initially slow to respond. But once the threat of fascism became clear, they joined the demand to help the Spanish Republic. Labour leader Clem Attlee visited the International Brigades in Spain, and the British battalion named its first company after him, the Major Attlee Company.
This is another photo of Attlee addressing Caxton Hall meeting on food for Spain in 1937. Because the fascists were bombing Spain from the air, there were lots of food shortages, and leading Labour figures like Attlee asked people to raise these funds, and I think about £1 million was raised in total in Britain, which is kind of phenomenal in today's money.
Yeah. Several Labour members gave their lives to the anti-fascist cause in Spain, including North Kensington councillor Lewis Clive, killed at the Ebro in 1938.
So this is Lewis Clive, a report of his death in the summer of 1938. And see here, it says Lewis Clive's death was an especially tragic aspect. It says that it occurred during an attack on a hill outside Gandesa, and that he was leading the Major Attlee Company at the time.
So he was an elected councillor representing the Labour Party.
Exactly. Saw the threat of fascism in Spain, and that was an immediate threat in the UK as well. So made that decision to go out and fight.
His passion around fighting fascism and the party's position on socialism are intertwined in a sense, and it's so important that I think this story is told in the way that you're sharing it, because it's so important for us to be reminded of how we are today as a Labour Party and those that went before us and fought for these principles and this just cause.
Find out more about David Marshall, Lewis Clive, and how political parties of the left supported the Spanish Republic in the Marx Memorial Library's archives. Help keep their memory alive by supporting the International Brigade Memorial Trust. No pasarán, they shall not pass.
The air was ringing with the voices of Marseille, Dublin and Cologne. Down in the drill yards and the cafes, there was talk of a new world being born. A match is struck, a lamp throws its light, holding